Africa may have recorded a sustained and robust 4.8% growth since the start of this year, but policy choices like engaging in industrialization without ignoring its commodities will determine whether such progress would continue. This is the main thrust of this year's Economic Report on Africa, unveiled recently in Cameroon's capital Yaounde by one of its authors, the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Joseph Barachako, an economist with the Economic Commission for Africa's Sub-Regional Office for Central Africa, says this is imperative if African countries want to do away with pressing challenges like youth unemployment, poverty, and gender inequities.
Africa has recorded very good growth performances since a number of years. However, this kind of growth doesn't really benefit to all the citizens because they are growth driven mainly by exports of primary commodities. This is once again an explanation of the main reasons why we have to transform our economies to make the benefits beneficial to all the citizens, including mainly the youth, which is one of our capital, and other groups vulnerable like women, like disabled, and so forth.
Co-authored with the African Union, the diagnosis titled Making the Most of Africa's Resources, Industrialization for Growth, Jobs and Economic Transformation does not end at pinpointing the continent's development malaise. It offers transformative policy roadmaps that will add value to African economies by cutting back on their reliance on producing and exporting unprocessed commodities.
These endowments exist in finite quantities. Let me give you an example. If you start destroying the forest, at a given time you will have a challenge on climate change. If you continue depending on oil, at a given time they will be off. So this is one of the first challenge. Second, if you are planning to resources coming from outside, it means that you are resilient to external shocks. The recent example of the economic and financial crisis, where the main countries importing from Africa were in troubles following this crisis, you know that we received this shock because the demand, remittances and so forth were down. So it means that this is another challenge. While if we transform our economies, we try to diversify our sources of growth, it means that the shock will not be too much like for now.
The report comprised country case studies for Algeria, Cameroon, Egypt, Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, South Africa and Zambia in Africa's 5 sub-regions.